Hulk Hogan was your guy. You needed somebody to slam Andre the Giant's ass, Hulk Hogan was your guy. But if you also needed somebody to do 4 moves and a half-ass leg drop, Hulk Hogan was your guy. I will say this and I will mean it, and I will take him off the screen so I can look you in your face and tell you, sir, Hulk Hogan was just a name. I'm sorry to tell you that. He couldn't wrestle for shit. People want to criticize John Cena
What?
not being able to.
What?
Hulk Hogan could not wrestle for shit. I will say that. Yes, Hulk Hogan, he had a nice little run in Japan. That was cool. But what he did here in the Americas, Hulk Hogan didn't wrestle for shit. I am going to say that. I'm going to stand on it, and I'm sticking to it. Hulk Hogan was not that guy in the fucking ring. If you want to be honest, he was marketable as shit. Absolutely. He had the look. Absolutely. He had the build. Absolutely. But will I put him as one of the best wrestlers ever? I will fucking not. And I stand on that shit. Oh, yeah, I told you. I'm here to shake the table. I love the impact on the business. I do. But you're not going to sit up here and tell me Hulk Hogan is a great wrestler. You are not going to tell me that.
I won't tell you he's one of the greatest wrestlers ever. No, but Hulk Hogan could wrestle. The dude. I mean, at that time and back then, there was wrestling. Like the guy was the old school Bruno Marcentino. He was that. He comes from that era of wrestling, so he could wrestle, or work the ring, as we like to say with guys that size. That
No. Was he a great worker? I will.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a great worker. Yeah, he was a great worker. Yeah, he was. You got to give him that. Wrestler. A wrestler's debatable. Wrestler, even if you say he's not, it's still debatable. It is, but as a worker, showmanship, all those other things, Hulk Hogan was that. Everything else, charismatic, promo. He was all of that, man. He was all of that. Was he overrated?
Come on. You know he was. Don't even sit there and try to justify it. Just sit there and say he was and you liked him. Just say that shit. It's okay. It is okay. You was a little Hulkamaniac. You was a little too Codigan. I get it, little Terry. I get it. It is okay. You were saying your vitamins, you were saying your prayers, eating your vitamins. I get it. It is okay. Everybody can't slam Andre the Giant. Shout out to you, Mr. Venice Beach. Whoa. I bet you like Mr. America too, didn't you? That's okay.
Actually, I hated Mr. America. I thought that shit was a joke. I actually hated Mr. America. I'm not even gonna lie. It was a joke. I didn't really care for it because I understood why he was doing that. So it was just more of a rub to Vince for trying to hold down Hulk than it was anything. Here's why it's hard for me to say Hulk Hogan was overrated. Because of the impact, because of and I'm gonna go past all the 80s Hogan shit. I'm gonna take it to the 90s. I'm gonna take it to where it had the biggest impact, and that's when he became Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Like the impact of that one move has shifted wrestling to a different stratosphere. Now, does that take away from his in-ring ability as far as a wrestler? Yes. Was he a 5-move of doom kind of guy? He sure the hell was. And I can't wait till I bring up John Cena or you bring up John Cena, because boy am I gonna have some shit to say. Oh man. But and again, like I said, some of the things that you say about one can come back to ride with the other. So again, and those are two guys that are similar, but for Hulk Hogan, for him to be larger than life, and the time that it was huge. And yeah, it did get watered down. So shit, man. Yeah, he was overrated, and I liked him anyway. But
It's okay. It is okay.
man, but I was a Hulk maniac, man. And
Yeah.
but don't get me wrong, there was something about him that did feel stale. I noticed it. A lot of people noticed it, but it was like, man, he's Hulk Hogan. It's like it is what it is. But we need to find that new thing. And then when we got that new thing, when we got that new thing, uh, it was that Hollywood Hulk Hogan, and that did more for him where it almost makes it he's under overrated. Like I feel like Hulk Hogan is at a point where I feel like you when it's almost a two halves of the career because yeah, even when he was Hollywood Hogan, he still kind of did the kind of five moves of doom, but he was also more of a heel. So he was
Mhm.
doing more heel things. Like he wasn't just doing the regular Hulk Hogan stuff. Like he did the regular Hulk Hogan stuff, but he was doing more other dastardly, devious things. Like he had
Right, right,
upped his
right.
game as far as the wrestling and what he do, and he actually had good wrestling matches with some people. So it's not like I gotta totally put it over. I think the 80s Hulk Hogan was a bit
Yeah.
overrated. I think the Hollywood Hogan was a bit underrated
Mhm.
to a degree, to a point. Um,
Okay.
until WCW went stupid, and then that's when everything just went stupid, and then it was just like whatever. But I feel like Hulk Hogan, uh, you bastard, oh you bastard, he was overrated, but close to underrated. He's more under overrated.
Hey, you trying to save it? It's okay.
Yeah, I am trying to save it. I'm trying to save it, damn it. And you're gonna try to save it too. I don't want to hear that shit. I know your
I,
ass gonna try to
but
save it.
look,
I
look,
know you are. But it's cool though. It's cool though. But honestly, he was overrated.
and again, man, this is strictly coming from just from wrestling media mind, right? So none of this is personal. We shooting the shit right now. But I will say this I want to reiterate and double down on this one specific fact. I don't deny his impact on the business. As far as what he's meant to the business, there would be no WWE, WWF, WCW as we know it without Hulk Hogan. Because again, at that time, that was such a seismic shift because you had people coming and going left, right, WCW, WWE, oh, WWF, WWF to WCW. Nobody, I mean nobody. I'm talking about Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, X Pac, Lex Luger. You had so many people coming in and out, and nobody made the impact that Hulk Hogan did. Like literally, when Hulk Hogan came out and they realized he was a bad guy, that was like Brown's Bottlegate. That was like Malice at the Palace before it even was a thing. Like, like he literally caused, like you said, a seismic shift in the industry. So me
I,
taking
I gotta disagree with you on that part of that because I feel like Scott Hall and Kevin Nash going to WCW and the way they came in was impactful because you
But
didn't see
but,
guys
but,
come
but, but
in
did
like
it
that.
impact it in a way? It's funny. Me and you about to pull a double turn. We about to pull a Hogan and Rock at WrestleMania. But did it impact in the way that Hollywood Hogan impacted it though?
It
Because I
did because it brought an extra shock value to it because
Mhm.
it was so out of nowhere. That's the thing that benefits Hogan in this matter because you just knew, oh shit, here come Mr. Red, White, Blue America coming to save the day. No one outside of anybody that's not totally a Hogan fan or anybody with common sense that's not going to be look at Hulk Hogan and think, oh, he came to save the day. They kind of saw it or knew, but anybody else that it mattered to, and that's the people where you got a lot of those boos from. All those people that booed and were mad and upset, they were the people that no matter what, when Hulk Hogan comes out, you know he's coming out to save the day. And
Mhm.
you don't think nothing else otherwise. And when he came out and did that, yeah, it did a shift in wrestling that you ain't never seen such a heel turn so quick and so
Yeah,
vicious. And yeah, that is on a pedestal by itself because of who he built himself his long career to be. But the way that Scott Hall and then Kevin Nash came into the business, and the way that they were kind of breaking the fourth wall, that was impactful in a different way, but it was still impactful because it gave way for Hulk Hogan. If they don't do that, that Hulk Hogan turn means nothing. Like that moment means nothing without them two. Without Scott Hall walking down and looking like he's an invader from WWE, it has no value to what Hulk Hogan does because again, that wasn't the original plan. You got to also think about that. It wasn't the original plan for Hogan to be the guy. It was for Sting. Now that would have still been impactful too because it's Sting. Because you looked at Sting that way, but the fact that it was Hulk Hogan, and it's like it's Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan always comes to save the day. Hulk Hogan always does that, and it had the shock value that it had, but without Scott Hall and Kevin Nash doing what they doing and it taking off the way it did, that doesn't matter for nothing.
No, absolutely. No, bro, I agree. I find it kind of ironic that I'm looking at the GOW presents and it kind of looks very Hulk Hogan fontish. I just thought that was hilarious.
You did that shit on purpose. You did that shit on purpose.